Butch
Great.
pizza.
A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Nathaniel C. Cañal.
I am Laica Sarim.
And I am Gruyal Kristine Kaye.
We are here to present our collaborative discussion into how structuralism as a way of approaching text and practices discuss culture. So to start our discussion, let's first define structuralism. So structuralism is a mode of knowledge of nature and human life that is interested in relationship rather than individual objects, or alternatively, where objects are defined by the set of relationships of which they are part of, not by qualities possessed by them taken into isolation. It is a philosophy and method that developed from insights in the field of linguistics in the mid-20th century to study the underlying patterns of social life. Next slide. So how does structuralism discuss culture? Structuralism is an approach to the human sciences that attempts to analyze a specific field, such as culture, as a complex system of interrelated parts. Structuralism is an approach used to analyze culture, developed by Claude Lévi-Strauss. It asserts that human culture, being the settings of learned behaviors and ideas that characterize a society. It is just an expression of the underlying structures of the human mind.
So to continue what Mr. Cañal had said earlier, structuralists aim to understand the underlying meaning involved in human thought as expressed in cultural expressions. Further, the theoretical approach offered by structuralism emphasizes the elements of culture must be understood in terms of the relationship to the entire system. In addition, in cultural anthropology, the school of thought developed by French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss, in which cultures viewed as systems are analyzed in terms of the structural relations among their elements. So next slide, please. So how does structuralism approaches literary? So how does structuralism approaches literary text? So structuralism focuses on literature as a system of science in which meaning is constructed with the context. Words inscribed with meaning may be compared to other words and structures to determine their meaning.
So, in literary theory, structuralist criticism relates literary text to a larger structure, which may be a particular genre, a range of intertextual connections, a model of universal narrative structure, or a system of recurrence patterns or motifs. So an example of structuralism is describing an apple. An apple is crisp, sweet, juicy, round, and hard. So when we feel or taste something that is crisp, sweet, juicy, round, and hard, we can think of an apple. So another example of structuralism is describing your experience at the ocean by saying it is windy, salty, and cold, but rejuvenating. Through structuralism, literature is seen as a whole. It functions as a system of meaning and reference, no matter how many works there are, 2 or 2,000. So, yes, that should be all. Thank you. I guess we already elaborated the entire lesson about structuralism. That's all. Thank you. Bye.